Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And we're going to go in the news, get a few articles, a few videos, and link it all to biblical prophecy, as the prophets of old were sent to do. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, before you, right? Before us, the prophets that were before us, the prophets that were before him, okay? Prophesied both against many countries. And America is that country of the day, that power structure of the day, the beast system, the NATO, the EU. Those are great countries who are, under one banner, all right, to fulfill prophecy, okay? But, opposed to that, you have the prophets in these countries in their captivities, all right, as Jeremiah was in the Babylonian Empire, okay? He let you know that the prophets prophesied against many countries, all right, and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what we're seeing in the planet Earth, okay? Let's look up the word pestilence, okay, because there's a cancer in the planet Earth in the form of the so-called white man, the biblical Edomite, okay? He's pretty much being used, to, wage war on the population, via, the poisoning of the water, the food, this foul, energy that's being pushed through the alphabet crap. Okay, all of these things fulfill pestilences, severe storms, floods, nonstop rain, snow in places where it don't snow. You see, animals attacking people. Things are getting significantly worse on the earth. Now, this word is debar, pestilence, plague, murrain, cattle disease, cattle plague. Cattle disease, cattle plague. Now, one of the articles that I have, okay, is here. Okay, as you can see, there's a new flu spilling over from cows to the people. Okay, now when you look up a cattle plague or a murrain, all right, that was something that happened to the Egyptians. Okay, as a plague. So we're seeing those very plagues in our time. Okay, that which is then is now. The new flu is spilling over from cows to people in the U.S. How worried should we be? Okay, because there's a cattle plague. There's a plague upon horses. There's a plague upon the creation that the Lord has created. But this is a plague. Okay, this is a plague being brought upon Egypt. Okay, because Exodus 9:1, and Yahweh said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, all right, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of Yahweh is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, and upon the horses, and upon the asses, and upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. And there shall be a very grievous murrain. All right. Now, when you look up that word, okay, I mean, and all you have to do is just type in cattle plague 2023, and I guarantee you news is going to come up where this is a problem throughout the earth. All right. It's the same word, murrain, okay, which is a plague. If it loads. Okay, there you go. Debar, the same thing. Pestilence. Okay, plagues. And this place is being with plagues. Okay, so there's a new flu spilling over. Okay, you got the scare of the vid still. You got all manner of things happening in the planet Earth. Okay, which pursuant to Second Esdras, the 15th chapter and the 11th verse, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand." Okay, as a matter of fact, I'll start at 10. All right, because we just read, the actual Egypt where we were slaves. Okay, but we know that applies in this time as well. Second Esdras 15 and 10. "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite Egypt with plagues as before." Okay, and will destroy all the land thereof. See, so Egypt is being smitten with plagues all over again. The mentality of the people is a plague. The food is plagued. The air is plagued. The water is plagued. And the Heavenly Father is using his weapon, okay, the biblical Edomite, okay, in the spirit of Cain, the weapon, used by the Most High to take us and the nations down, okay, and rule in this time. Well, he's at the end of his rule, just like Pharaoh had an end to his rule. So the Lord will bring them with a mighty hand. And how were the children of Israel led out of Egypt? By the angel that the Most High God Yahweh sent unto them. Okay, that's how they were led out of Egypt. That's what followed them in the wilderness. And that same stretched out arm is coming, all right, in an even greater fashion in this new Egypt. But before then, it's going to be smitten with plagues. And Moses and Aaron were sent, as the mouthpiece of the Most High in speaking those plagues. So the same thing applies in our time. So Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So these things are punishments from the Most High. Okay? Now we'll go back to this. All right, but yeah, these particular, let's just type it in real quick. Let's just type in cattle. Yeah, cattle disease. Which, when a virus is ruling the earth, cancer, spreads throughout the earth, and you're witnessing the result of Esau's rulership. Okay, let's just type in news, cattle disease. Longhorn tick dangerous for cattle found in 3 areas in Missouri. See, the Lord is he's weaponizing, the earth, as the scriptures say, real quick. Let's get this real quick. The earth would be used to fight against the unwise, man. You see? And that's what the Lord is doing. All manner of plagues are being set up for the wicked of our people too. Let's see here. So it'll be Wisdom of Solomon 5. Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Let me see. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and 20. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. So the Lord got the heathen raised up, coming against Esau, trying to form currencies outside of the dollar, which is going to take a miraculous situation for the dollar. Okay, but all currencies are really being collapsed. But it's go take a catastrophic event for the dollar. The dollar is very strong, and really what makes the dollar strong is, the sword that comes, behind, leaving it, but if these particular nations, all right, were to just ditch the dollar altogether, it would go bad for them. So the Lord is setting up even situations with these particular EU and NATO nations. All right, but if you look at what's happening, these various different nations are all aligned, running to Russia. Everybody's if you look up, you see all of these nations being aligned with Russia. North Korea, various different nations are just and somehow, some way being linking with Russia, China. Okay, so your president, okay, was put in there, all right, to possibly lead you people to World War III. Okay, because he's caused nothing but mischief and brought a very foul, wicked, demonic spirit in the earth. But it was needed to fulfill the Sodom and Egypt aspect of where we would be at. All of these things that are happening, okay, bring to life what the scripture said, or where we will be. So we have to witness it. We have to see it. Okay? He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of a helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for his sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, and from a well-drawn bow they shall fly to the mark. Okay, war, nuclear war on the earth, the fire from the chariots eventually. Hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them. The flood shall cruelly drown them. Now, there are plenty of floods happening, okay, in the earth. Okay, there are plenty of things happening. Yeah, 90% cattle vaccinated against lumpy skin disease in Punjab. So all over the earth, plagues are happening. Okay? And the cattle damn sure is plagued. So we're witnessing the plagues of Egypt all over again, but just in our time. Okay? So there's floods. Okay? Floods worldwide. Let's just type that in. There's floods happening in a lot of places in the planet Earth, man. Record California snowpack bounty poses a renewed flood risk. As flooding increased, the cities are designed to work with, not against the water. Work with and not against the waters. Here's how they're doing it. So floods are happening all over the planet Earth. Okay? Tornadoes are happening throughout the planet Earth. Right? Don't you see it? It's just the Lord is wreaking havoc in the earth. Okay? So we're witnessing the plagues of Egypt, okay, be brought forth, man. So people are being flooded out, drowning. All right? Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against him, and like a storm shall blow them away. All right? Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. So the thrones of the mighty are getting ready to be overthrown by their ill dealing. So the Lord, as as the scriptures say, the end is associated with, marvelous signs and wonders. Okay, these things are happening, all right, before the Heavenly Father fully takes down Esau. He's weakening him from the inside out. Okay, and pretty soon he's not gonna have control. Now, he is the cause of a lot of this chaos and a lot of these earthquakes and a lot of things that happen. The elite play both sides. They have, blessings where they can control and manipulate weather and do this and that. Okay, but overall, it's the Lord bringing these things. Okay? So the whole earth, okay, is getting ready to be full of plagues in one way, shape, form, or another. Now, I had this article here. Okay, hundreds of fish killed following nuclear plant radioactive leak in Minnesota. Okay, so another day, another radioactive leak. Okay, so as you can see, the waters are being poisoned. Okay, you know, sea life is dying off in mass amounts in various parts of the earth. Okay, and now in Minnesota, now we have another mishap. Okay, where ecosystems are being ruined. Okay, now let's get the video on this. Listen to this guy here, Dabu. Okay, bring out this situation.
This is Dabu 7. We have yet another freight train that is derailed. This time in Minnesota, we have a town there.
Listen, you hear that?
This is Dabu 7. We have yet another freight train that is derailed. This time in Minnesota, we have a town there in Raymond being evacuated. They're saying the residents in this small town need to get out and stay as far away from this mess as possible till they can get it cleaned up. This is Burlington, northern Santa Fe.
This shit had to be in some Illuminati card game where trains was just derailing, and this is just they had to prophesy this somewhere because this is crazy. All right, and not only this one, there's another one, as we'll show you in Montana. All right. Now I believe they told the people they're okay, they can go back, to their, where they're at. But outside of that, we see nothing but death. Which this is prophecy. Let's get the book of Revelation 16:3. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood of a dead man, and every living soul died. Okay, in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers. All right, which the rivers are poisoned. There's chemicals all in the water. It's all manner of death. Okay, and this is all through this is ordained. Okay, this is a part of end time, prophecy. In order for us to get out of here, these things must come to pass. And the blood is just symbolic of death in the water, toxins, oil. Okay, why would you want blood in your waters? That just represents the decay. Okay, death, and we're witnessing it. Okay. Again, the plagues of Egypt. Okay. Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, man. He said, verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So I believe there's also one in Revelation, the 8th chapter. Yep, Revelation 8:11. And the name of the star is called wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, which is a root, I believe. All right, and it gets parasites out of the body, but if you take too much, it can become toxic, I believe, to your liver. Okay, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Okay, and all over the planet Earth, all you have to do is just look it up. Okay, polluted waters. worldwide. How much of the world's water is polluted? Let's see here. Polluted waters. South Dakota releases toxic waste. Water pollution amongst worst in the U.S. And I mean, we already know this earth is defiled because they don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So the earth is out of course. The earth is out of order. And we see the results of sin. Okay, so we as Israelites, we should well know, okay, that obedience to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is far better than what going off and rebelling against him did. Look at what it brought. All over the earth, 95 million plan to improve quality and reduce pollution. So it's just water polluted all over the world. All over the world. I mean, the articles just don't stop. I mean, damn. All over the world is water pollution. India is it's horrible. Okay? India is amongst the worst. Oh my goodness. The Ganges River is one of the most polluted in the world. That was 7 days ago. India's cities will be most impacted by lack of water in coming decades. So yeah, and all over the world we see polluted waters. The waters, toxins everywhere as we have this situation here.
Saying that 22 rail cars have derailed. This happened early this morning. Now, of those derailed cars, some were hauling corn syrup and others were hauling ethanol. That ethanol, highly flammable, catching on fire and bursting into flames. So they've got emergency crews on the scene there. They've been working on this, trying to get all the flames out into the early morning hours, but yet another one to add to the list here. They just keep stacking up. So again, this area, at least a half-mile radius around Raymond in Minnesota, has been evacuated for this most recent train derailment happening in Minnesota. I will continue to update on this. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and join me on the live streams Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
So Egypt is being plagued now. Let's see here. We just showed you the other day. There was one in again in the Ohio River. Okay, near Louisville. Tons of toxins just being released into the water. Now there's another one here. Let's see here. Here we go.
This is Dabu 7. We have word now coming in that there has been another train derailment, this time in northwest Montana, and Chuck Costello reporting that an unknown substance is reportedly leaking into the Clark Fork River. And this is 200 miles west of Bozeman.
God damn.
This is in the northwest of the state. That is a look here and an image.
You see that eyeball right there? Is that an eyeball? Are my eyes deceiving me? Nigga, I know an eyeball when I see an eyeball, man. That's an eyeball. In the videos of 1 hour, 1 minute and 44 seconds. I mean, what is that?
Of the situation, apparently there are cleanup crews on the scene, arriving as I speak.
Bro.
to this derailment. It's not on fire, and there doesn't seem to be word of any hazardous material, so to speak, that is leaking. We don't know what is leaking into the waterway. It's something they're saying. We don't know what it is, so at this point, I can't say if it's hazardous or not until we get clarification on that. This is by Camp Bighorn near Paradise,
Montana. So another day, another derailment. Come on, man. Is that an eyeball? I mean, goodness gracious. Is somebody else gonna see this? I'll have to look through the comments later because somebody else got to see their eye, man. But what's the red stuff? All right.
With cars in the river. And I'm looking at all the news reports on it. They're making it sound safe without any investigation, although there are other people reporting of red stuff leaking into the river. This happens to be breaking news. It happened just this morning. And with all of the repeated train derailments causing toxic awareness in the air and the water, I thought it was important to get you guys this information right away. Rail in western Montana. Now, I believe this was coming from Washington State, which is my home state. I know a lot of you guys are not fans of news, especially CNN, but it's important to know how everyone's putting it out there. Before we get to the questionable stuff, the red stuff supposedly leaking into the river that apparently appears to be safe, says the sheriff's office, without any investigation. Before we dive into that interesting part, let's see how they put it here. A freight train derailed in Paradise, Montana on Sunday, according to the Sanders County Sheriff's Office. Approximately 25 cars were derailed around 9:20 a.m. near Highway 135. Dispatcher Bill Brown told CNN. The train derailed on the banks of the Clark Fork River, approximately 200 miles northwest of Bozeman. Image from the scene show some of the cars in the river. Now, I understand a lot of these railways travel along the river because it's the least resistance as far as hills and terrain. And unfortunately, with as many derailments as we're seeing these days, we're seeing a lot of these trains end up in the river, or what they're carrying ending up in the river, which is very dangerous. Sheriff's office did not provide information on what the train was hauling. However,
so we can clearly see that the plagues are here. All right. And the scriptures say, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath. So people on earth are catching hell. He's spraying chemicals everywhere. The sea is dying. Okay, all of these derailments, and that's small. Okay, these little spills, these things we're hearing about and reading about happening. Of course, we know the devil is up to some mischief, but there have been some highly, toxic spills, which still affect the waters unto this day. This devil has totally ruined the entire planet Earth, man. Okay, CDC research team members fell ill studying toxic Ohio derailment, agency confirmed. So, again, Egypt is being plagued. Okay, and as the scriptures say, we would be in what? Let's get it. A spiritual. Revelation, the 11th chapter. All right, Revelation, the 11th chapter, in the 8th verse, it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom in Egypt." Okay, and we went into the other day, showing you we're in Egypt. Many of the customs and functions of this world has its roots in ancient Egypt. You see? So the Israelites, would be in a dead state, in a spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Okay? And in this place, the Lord will be crucified, meaning the image of the Lord, it would be crucified, meaning his ways will be trumped upon. Okay? He would be, this world would reject him. All right? This is an anti-Messiah world. Okay, and Sodom and Egypt, and the scriptures talks about the cry of Sodom. Okay, the cry of Sodom. Okay. Genesis 18 and 20, and the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin very grievous. Okay. The Lord ultimately burned that place up because of the cry of Sodom. Now, when you look at this word cry, okay, zaik, okay, to outcry, to cry in distress, outcry, clamor, okay, and clamor is basically what what you boast in, or kind of like pride. See what it says. It says outcry. All right, the outcry of Sodom, became grievous. It became sore evil, and we're going to show you. Let's see what it says. Is it going to come up? Okay, a loud and confused noise, especially that of people shouting vehemently, and you literally have these people marching around, screaming, shouting. Okay, as we're witnessing. Okay, we're witnessing a time where they're going directly at the children. Okay? Clinics should prepare for more child sex changes. Hospital director. Medical schools must increase training efforts, all right, for these controversial surgeries. Dr. Oren Ganner has declared. So for this, new world they want, of course, there's not going to be any gender, and the oh my goodness, I don't even want to even try to speak into existence what that would bring about. This devil is absolutely crazy, man. All right, it's becoming the end thing to just pollute children, to murder children. It's just like crazy. It's just a very crazy satanic vibe. Okay. The director of Boston's Children's Hospital Gender Surgery Department has called on similar institutions to increase their capacity to perform underage gender surgeries as Republican-run states begin to clamp down on the practices. Okay, so you're seeing this alphabet agenda, be shoved down the throats of the people, and we're seeing the outcry of Sodom and their sin becoming very grievous. Now, Habakkuk talks about that wine. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5. Yea, because he transgresseth by wine. Okay, and what is that wine? The wine of Babylon. Okay, Babylon. Hold up. So he transgresses by his wine. Okay, his philosophies, his way, which is to be a alphabet, to and that's all tied to different gods and goddesses and demonic spirits that rule and govern in this world. So he transgresses by wine. Okay, and the scriptures say, Jeremiah 51 and 7, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Okay, and this is why you have now in Uganda and even in Russia, there's a buck up against the West and that alphabet agenda. Even China talked about how, their men have become feminized by following the West. So Uganda passed a law making it a crime to identify as alphabet. Okay? These nations are bucking up against the vibration of America. All right? The nations are mad. They don't want these particular customs, all right, of the devil, all right, which this is how he weakens the nations. This is the fruit of the serpent all over again. Okay, there is no right or wrong. You can eat of this philosophy, and it'll upgrade you. It'll make it better for you. Well, look at the mess that's in the world now. Okay, with the whole thing going on over here in America, with the the former who offed 3 children and 3 adults, 33, but the blame of that whole situation was up on Christians, man, the Bible. So pretty soon there could be laws passed and legislation, all right, to where you won't be able to speak the Bible, because the Bible will be declared offensive to this group. So now you're seeing uproars of the people, okay, all right, where now this is the fight. See, this is how the devil undermines nations. All right, because in a place where this behavior isn't heavily accepted, all right, now the people there, which this can be like a paid off group, right? This is how the devil does it. In a place where you don't have these issues and people ain't, don't even think like that. Like they ain't into that. They have their traditions and their ways, but a man is a man, a woman is a woman. Now, all right, they're marching, okay, in Uganda, which is very strict. Uganda is very strict, especially on women. Okay, if you want to talk about a patriarch, well, if you think America's a patriarch, okay, go over to Uganda, okay, and live amongst them, and tell me what you think. Okay, so now South Africans are marching against the anti-alphabet bill. See? And then eventually it's going to be a chaotic environment, because let me see if I can find this article. Yeah, you have this situation where DeSantis signature tips U.S. into majority constitutional carry nation with new Florida gun rights. Florida is the 26th state with laws on the books allowing permitless carrying of a firearm. So you can just have a gun with no permit, okay, no training, no mental evaluation. You can just walk around with now synonymously everybody are being all of these various different subdivisions of society are being turned against one another. You're seeing the left right paradigm, or the order out of chaos. Okay, you're seeing these because now there's groups of flippers. We can call them flippers too. The flip floppers. These these was and they're through. They're through. Okay. Ultimately, it's a foul spirit. Okay. And when you get Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, it talks about how the worshiping of idols leads to the people changing of kind. So you have people that are just going to be walking around with all of these different philosophies, all of these drugs in them. The food is weaponized, the air is weaponized, the water is weaponized. Okay, a lot of them got that activator put inside of them. Okay, so you're getting ready to see all out chaos at some point, especially once people start to realize that they don't have the rights anymore. Freedom of speech is going to be taken away. The legislation being passed to come, and seize control of the internet and what information is able to get out there and deemed because it can be an infodemic. There's particular information that harms people. There's particular information that's on the internet that actually harms people when they hear it. So we have to be able to regulate what is put forth, because it's there's too many false narratives, and this man is just a complete devil. Okay, he's the complete devil. Okay, what was that? Let's see here. Yeah, I'll just go back here. Yeah, so this is where Babylon is headed now. When you get the book of Luke, the 17th chapter, okay, and again, the scriptures say male and female created he them. Let's get that real quick. All right. Matthew, the 19th chapter, in the 4th verse, and he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? See? Mark 10:6, but from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. Okay? Male and female. Okay? Now they're transcending that order. See, that's what this is all about. They're transcending, okay, the human limitations, and created a new species, a new world, a new way. Okay, and that's that wine. Okay, and the nations are angry. Now, Luke, the 17th chapter and the 28th verse, likewise in the days of Lot, okay, which the scripture said Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked as he was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and he was balling. Okay, he was on. Okay, high level businessman, cattle, substance, land. Because remember, he had to separate from Abraham because they had so much substance. He had to go his way and Abraham had to go his way. All right. And those are the sons of God, the descendants of Adam through Seth. Okay. Of course, Noah, Shem, Arphaxad, that line, that's the sons of God, man. And Abraham and Lot came from that line, that lineage. Okay, but Abraham is the one the Lord restored, everything as far as understanding of the legacy of that particular line. He restored it to him. But in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built it. Now, the days of Lot are speaking of Sodom and Gomorrah. So likewise, in the days of Lot, they lived, carelessly in the planet Earth. Okay? They build, but at the same day when Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. See? So this lets you know that when Yahushua returns, he's going to return, okay, to a vibration of sodomy, of nastiness in the earth. Okay, and the administration that's in office have done a very, very good job of fulfilling that prophecy, of bringing that energy about. Starting going back to Obama. Now, these devils have always been into all kind of, freakism and this and that. But we're living in a time where it's getting ridiculous, and they're even aiming it at the children. You see? But Jake ain't saying nothing about that, but we grapist, right? So, new NSC spokesman John Kirby, Alphabet Plus rights are a core part of our foreign policy. So this is their religion. This is a part of their religion. Their new way. This is the new wave. Okay. Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. Let's see here. Verse 7, and the Sodomite sea, see, the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night. And the night is the time of darkness, you know, and that's how these devils operate in dark energy. Remember, they're here to bring forth the energy of Satan, which is, you know, the adversary of what is right. And you wonder why people are this demonic and evil. Well, they're under that control of that vibration. That them spirits got them. Okay, and they were put in the earth to fulfill these prophecies. So the Lord got them in that spirit. He gave them over to this mindset for prophecy to be fulfilled, man. Okay, the Sodomite sea, the sea is the people, shall cast out fish. Fish being cast out of the sea represent death. As a matter of fact, let's just type it in. Fish. How did millions of fish die gasping in the Darling after 3 years of rain? Millions of fish dead, you know, all over the river. Yeah, I mean, that just represents decay. Okay, and that's happening in the earth. Okay, but it's also speaking of, you know, he is as death. All right, he transgressed by wine. His philosophy, his way, that wine, you know, being cast out, these various different doctrines and philosophies, and shall make a noise in the night, which many have not known. Okay, so it would be an energy of death in the earth, like even marching and arguing for the right, you know, and it becoming a culture, a trend, and a outcry to just, you know, delete a baby, delete a fetus. Like what that's an energy that we're witnessing, you know, which that brings about the spirit of Molech, you know, an ancient deity, demon. All right, this is the world we live in. Is ruled and governed by high-level demons, and Baphomet is the archangel of Satan, all right, that hovers over America. And that's a dual-gendered God, okay? Let's look him up. Let's look up Baphomet. Now, there was this particular artist, I don't know her name, maybe China. Yeah, here you go. Baphomet tattoo. Know what it is as Black China's removal of demonic tattoo goes viral. So this chick, Black China, goodness gracious, she looks terrible. You know, basically turned to Jesus, and, you know, she removed a tattoo of Baphomet. Now, why does she have a tattoo of Baphomet on her body? Okay, this is a complete evil and wicked spirit. And when you look at it, look how he's pictured. He's pictured, okay. All right, as you can see, the serpent on the pole. Okay. You know, he is salvation. You know, he's the way. You know, his dark, you know, philosophies and energy and healing, all the magic and the pharmakia, But why is there 2 children on the side of him? Why is there 2 children on the side of Baphomet? And that goat. Now, in most depictions of Baphomet, okay, it's a dual-gendered deity, demon, okay? And as you can see on his left arm, it says coagula, okay, which like means like a clotting or, a blockage, And it has breast because it's a dual-gendered. There is no right and wrong. There is no gender. That's a vibration that issues forth in this world, okay, which that thing itself could be a man. This is the type of this is what's going on in the world, man. Okay, this is the a lot of these people, a lot of these people are complete demons being presented to the people as regular people. Okay, and the left hand is showing who they're they're aligned to, Satan. Okay, so this is why that we're witnessing right before Yahushua returns. That thing looked like what is this? What man in his right mind would come on, man? Look at this thing. What is this? What is this? Who is this? What is this? It started on March 13th when she shared a video of her getting breast implants and butt injection removed. Oh, man, these people are just destroying themselves. Again, as the brother Yaiquab said from the New York camp, if there's ever a generation that needed to be saved, it's this generation. They need to be saved from themselves. People just have free reign to destroy themselves. These are like walking demons, put before you, like the Kardashians. All of these people are just complete, the dark spirited people, man. But she, so say, removed the tattoo of Baphomet, okay, which that has a lot to do with the stuff that we see being pushed in the earth. That you saw he was in front of children. Okay. She explained why she is removing the tattoo of Baphomet, a deity often associated with the occult, on her hip. When I first got the tattoo, that's not what it meant to me. China explains, yeah, right. Okay, you don't get to positions that these people be in without being tied to some sort of agenda or So the Heavenly Father, man, this place got to go. Okay? So the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. So the philosophy, his tongue, his wine, okay, is coming forth, man, and it's nasty, man. This is a goddamn shame. Okay? Merciless murders of children, as the scriptures say. So now, these are the victims. The alphabet people are the victims. And the core part of our policy is going to be alphabet. Okay? So when asked about Uganda's passage of an anti-alphabet identity law and whether the U.S. is seeking to promote alphabet rights in Africa, now why do they have to promote their agenda in Africa? Isn't that wrong? So everybody is able. The only way you can be what you want to be and do what you want to do, and be accepted, is if you're doing wickedness. Outside of that, we don't accept you. All right. If you standing for righteousness, again, you maketh yourself a prey. Okay. John Kirby said President Joe Biden believes alphabet rights. All right. Which years ago, Biden was openly saying that there's only two genders. But now he's on this alphabet rights or human rights. All right. And that this is a core part of foreign policy. Goodness gracious, man. At the White House on Tuesday, a reporter told Kirby Uganda's parliament has passed an anti-mole bill, and the Uganda officials plan to attend African summit to discuss and promote the passage of a similar law in other African states. So this man is just going throughout the planet Earth, wreaking havoc. Okay? But again, this fulfills the very energy that the earth would be in particular, the Sodom and Egypt, America, okay, to where it would usher in the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shah is going to return in this time, because we're living at a time of a high level rebellion. Okay, and they're forcing it down the people's throats, man. But again, it fulfills prophecy. Silent protests. NHL may cancel Pride nights after players refuse to wear rainbow jerseys that try to tag them as trans advocates. This is going too far, man. Okay, this is where we are, man. This is why plagues are hitting the earth. So you have particular players like, hell nah, man. So you're going to have civil unrest, civil war. You're going to have people, being targeted for their beliefs and being against this, especially if you believe in the Bible. Okay, you're going to be an enemy of the state, all right? They're getting ready to ban the Bible. Okay, we're getting ready to see a famine of the word. Okay, and it's going to hit you by surprise, but we've been warning you of these things. Okay, and synonymous with all of these things, there's plagues and things happening in the planet Earth that speak clearly to where we are. Okay, we don't have to watch it all, but prophecy is speaking. Uproars of the people. This is GMS Vegas Sit Downs, 144K. Subscribe and be edified. All right. Prophecy is speaking. Uproars of the people. Okay. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. All right. And not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, but because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Anger in Senegal's capital. Supporters of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko have been fighting with security forces. Schools and shops are shut as violence and looting spread from one neighborhood to another. They accuse President Macky Sall of using the justice system to eliminate political opponents and cling on to power.
We elected Macky Sall to work, not to establish a dictatorship. He must leave Sonko alone. If he does not, we will burn the country.
In this heavily guarded vehicle is Sonko on his way to a trial that could end his... time. Many remain unaccounted for as a result of the speed of the crash and subsequent explosion. DNA testing is ongoing on remains found at the site, and nearly 50 people are still being treated in hospital. The European Public Prosecutor's Office is also now involved. The only way things will change is if people come out on the streets and fight, because we have had more than enough promises and measures. Demonstrators accuse the government of failing to act on known safety issues plaguing the nation's rail system. Issues that may have led to two trains, one full of passengers, the other loaded with cargo, running on the same line for several kilometers and then colliding. A provisional death toll of 57 was given at the time. Many remain
Damn, another derailment.
Accounted for as a result of the speed of the crash and subsequent explosion. DNA testing is ongoing on remains found at the site, and nearly 50 people are still being treated in hospital. The European Public Prosecutor's Office is also now involved. It's looking into a contract about the upgrade of signaling systems on Greek trains. The Greek Prime Minister toured the site the day after the crash and has since offered a lengthy written apology on Facebook promising to do better. His term is set to end in July, but elections could be pushed back from April until mid-May. We don't trust any government. We believe only the people will save the people.
So people are rebelling against the government, which that's prophecy, sedition amongst people, not regarding their kings nor princes, uproars of the people. We know that's in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. Okay, and when you're measuring the time diligently, okay, you're like, oh yeah. Okay, the end is gonna come in our time, in this generation. I believe that wholeheartedly, man. Okay, uproars of the people, baby.
Rail employees have been charged in connection with the crash. Charges range from causing transport disruption to manslaughter. If convicted, the punishment could be life in prison. As families of the victims wait for answers, anger and unrest unfolds in the streets. Chris Logan, Global News.
Nationwide protests, which have largely been peaceful, are heating up. The streets of Paris are on fire, and riot police are out in full force. Protesters continue to oppose France's controversial pension reforms after the Prime Minister passed them without the approval of Parliament. She says the reforms are not a personal issue, and that she wanted to go to the originally planned vote, but couldn't win a majority.
So what I can tell you is that until the last minute, with my ministers, we did everything we could to bring together a majority.
So people are rebelling against their leaders. Now, in early America, okay, a part of the Constitution was that you were able to form a coup and come up against the government if they were ruling outside of the measures, you know, of the Constitution or whatever, you know, start doing wickedness and being demons. And all right, you can and that's what these people are doing all over the world, and it's gonna come here in America, especially these Edomites. Once they figure out that it's over, all right, and the elites have fucked them fully, which they're all over the internet saying it. Okay, they're coming out. Okay, we're seeing Egyptian against Egyptian. We're seeing a nation divided. Okay, all of these heathen are just outing each other. Okay, you got tornadoes everywhere. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to bring out. Because pretty much, yeah.
And here is your latest African news.
I have raised this issue, and let me be clear about where we stand. First of all, for the American press who are here, you know that a great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including as it relates to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting it.
First of all, we don't have any such legislation here in Ghana. A bill has been proposed to the Parliament of Ghana, which has all kinds of ramifications, which is now being considered by the Parliament. It hasn't been passed, so the statement that there is legislation in Ghana to that effect is not accurate. The bill is going through the Parliament. It's going through the Parliament. The Attorney General has found it necessary to speak to the committee about it regarding the constitutionality or otherwise.
Like, why is America over there pushing this?
Of several of its provisions, and the Parliament is dealing with it. At the end of the process, I will come in. But in the meantime, the Parliament is dealing with it. And I have no doubt that the Parliament of Ghana will show, as it's done in the past, first of all, its sensitivity to human rights issues, as well as to the feelings of our population, and will come out with a responsible response to the proposed. The legislation was a legislation that is being provided as a private member's bill. This is not an official legislation of the government, but it is one that is being mooted by a handful of private members. So we will see what the final outcome of it. But my understanding from the recent discussion with the committee, the substantial elements of the bill have already been modified as a result of the intervention of the Attorney General. We will see what the final outcome will be, and that is at the stage at which I will also have the opportunity to prevent.
Please make sure.
So, I think it's time we begin to also enforce our values and traditions on the West, because no one has the monopoly of values. Africa is a dumpling ground for Western depravity. Yeah, so they go all throughout the world just spreading that wine, you know? And the nations are tired of this shit, man. The nations are mad. Okay, Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hands that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. See? Which is why World War III is being revved up in the planet Earth, man. So that's pretty much it. I didn't want to go too deep. I just wanted to bring out those few points, man. I mean, it's getting absolute crazy, man. You know, these transformers are like being weaponized and used to bring all manner of confusion, you know, and they're the victims. And they're the ones that are, you know, calling and taking up arms. You know, you had this one particular Christian dude, I forget his name. The alphabet people was just throwing stuff at him. The dude who be baptizing, David Wynn, I believe his name is. You had this situation where he was out baptizing, and the flippers came, you know, and attacking and throwing stuff at him. Now let us have done that to somebody. Let us have done that to somebody. So this is why, according to the Bible, as Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, so shall this particular place be destroyed, man. Let's see here. Let's see here. So this place got to go. Let's get Jeremiah. Jeremiah 50 and 40. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide therein, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. So this is what's coming to the landmass of America, and we can see. I mean, you got, you know, which I don't even want to pull it up. You got the, you know, the drags. Okay, reading the children. I mean, damn. Oh man. Bill Gates gives $4.8 million to develop gas masks for cows to fight climate change. So we're at a low point in the earth, man. This is the lowest time this earth has ever seen. It's going too far. The Heavenly Father gotta, you know, this could very well, Lord willing, this is it. You know, like, we know a lot more gotta happen, but you know, our cry is that the Lord ends this place. Okay, because this is madness. Everything is in a state of suffering. All right, and evils. All right, as the scriptures say, woe to him who call it evil good. I believe that's Isaiah. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe to them that call it evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light. See, they're putting darkness for light. Darkness is their light, and light for darkness. And true light is looked at as darkness here. All right, you're allowing children, 5 and 6 and 7 year old, to have the right to say, I want to change. Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? This is how you know the destruction is getting ready to come. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Absolute destructive. People are destroying themselves. People are depressed. And a lot of these people who do these surgeries and stuff, man, they get older and they get depressed, and they just wish they didn't do it, and they're, you know, cursing out the doctors. Yeah. It's a whole little series, okay, where they are regretting the decisions that they were allowed to make at young ages. Okay, to where they were given puberty blockers, man. That is absolutely crazy. To where you put something to block the natural way that the Lord develops men and women. You put it in them to block it. Like, what are you doing, man? That's darkness. Okay? Job 10 and 21. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, where the light is as darkness. See, the light is darkness here. Okay, his right hand is the right hand of falsehood. So we're in interested times. I just wanted to get, a few, articles. We'll be back with more, Lord willing. Let's see, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Check this out.
I'm sure you love the National Predators. Please talk to me, guys. I mean, this is a child-friendly event. What's going on? How you doing, man?
Hi. You know what you would do? You would shun Jacob to embrace Esau. God bless you. Come on, talk.
You heard that? The nigga said Jacob and Esau. Wait a minute.
Please talk to me, guys. I mean, this is a child-friendly event. What's going on? How you doing, man?
Hi. You know what you would do? You would shun Jacob to embrace Esau.
He said, you would shun Jacob to embrace Esau.
God bless you. So you have 3 words and leave. Oh, and you would love the Ethiopian eunuch, brother. You would love the Ethiopian eunuch. I'm glad God sent Philip to him and not you. Will always be evil. Once again, the sexualization.
Look at this nigga. Oh man. And this is they're all over the world doing this type of stuff. There was one play, I forget where it was at, where a lady was attacked. Yeah, trans attacks lesbians.
To the UK, and this is just incredible. Watch what happens in a pride parade. Now, pride, it's supposed to be LGBT, it's supposed to be inclusive, but look at how the trans activists attack a group of lesbians, and look how the police react to the interaction.
So at the moment, your march, this group of people, is causing confrontation between different groups of people. We're lesbians. We're lesbians. It's gay pride. Whatever you are at the moment is causing confrontation.
So the police removed the lesbians, not the trans activists attacking them. And if you want to see why the lesbians were being targeted, it's because they were carrying signs like this, which I would have thought was fairly self-evident that that's how lesbians feel. Surely they're entitled to determine who they're attracted to, and surely they're...
But we can't be entitled to believe we're Israelites. This is crazy. This world is going mad. was something I was. Let me go look at that.
For nearly 25 years, Don Suker has been known as the wacky owner of the Star Wars memorabilia store here in Aberdeen. But a transgender councilwoman says he's a bigot who went to the dark side on her.
You are not. You're not a woman. You
Look how big this nigga is.
don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman.
The confrontation started inside.
Trans women are women!
Get a
Trans women are women!
And spilled into the street.
You are not a chick.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskis confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted in his store saying, if you are born with a slang for a male body part, you are not a chick.
What he wrote there was so demeaning and so dismissive of who I am and who any
Lord.
trans woman is.
Oh,
Meskis,
man.
a trans woman, says she knows Suker has the right to say what he wants.
You're nuts. You need to back off now. No, you do.
But she wanted to tell him to his face it was hurtful.
I would really like them to open their eyes and their heart and see that, you know, we are people, we are who we are, and all we want to be is accepted in our community.
Now, ABC 7 News.
Victoria Chan Sanchez is live now at Cuba Libre.
Charlotte Clymer is a transgender woman and says she and a friend walked into the ladies' room around midnight at Cuba Libre restaurant.
And an attendant from the restroom asked to see my ID. They didn't ask anybody else. And when I asked why, they said it's because I have to have female on my ID in order to access the restroom. That's wrong, but, you know, first of all, and second of all, I'm not going to show my ID to use the restroom.
She said,
So you can just, oh my goodness, you just walk in the women's bathroom. A whole nigga.
that's when the male attendant walked in and started looking for her. After washing her hands, Clymer says the attendant and manager said it was DC law that a person must only use the restroom that matches with the gender on their identification card. She walked outside to look up the law on her cell phone to show the manager.
This is madness.
I went straight to him and asked him to read it. He did. He said that's incorrect. And I still don't, you know. Think
So these people are losing. This is madness. Okay. They're attacking people.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Before I talk about what
Ooh, that nigga's strong too, boy. Damn, that nigga's strong. You see how strong that nigga was?
But nonetheless, you guys can see it for yourself and bear witness to what actually happened.
God damn.
So as we saw a few weeks ago now with the Posey Parker event at all women's rally, okay, in New Zealand, she was there to speak, trans activist again.
So it's oh man.
Only on to a Port Arthur High School student says he has been the target of vicious attacks, both mental and physical. He says all because he is transgender. His family's home has even been targeted. KPRC2's Devin Clark spoke with the student who says he just wants to be try to be funny. As a transgender,
You know what? That's enough of that. That's enough. Damn. Wow. We got to get out of here, man. Shalom.